A 13-foot ladder is placed so that it reaches to a point on the wall that is 2 feet higher than twice the distance from the base of the wall to the base of the ladder. How far from the wall is the base of the ladder, and how high does the ladder reach? Now, reading this through the first time may sound a bit confusing, so we need to break it down and read it again into smaller pieces. A 13-foot ladder is placed so that it reaches to a point on the wall that is 2 feet higher than twice the distance from the base of the wall to the base of the ladder. So first of all, we start out with a drawing here. We can see a ladder is going up diagonally to the top of the building, and there's the ground from the point of the ladder to the building. So the first thing it says is there is a 13-foot ladder. So I'm going to go ahead and at least fill in that the ladder is 13 feet. The next thing I see is that it is placed so that it reaches to a point on the wall. Okay, so we're looking now on the wall of the building. 2 feet higher than twice the distance from the base of the wall to the base of the ladder. So the distance from the wall to the base of the ladder. So at this point, we're going to label that as x, because we don't know what that is, but we do want to find out what it is. So now that I know the ground is x, let's go back and reread this phrase one more time. The wall is 2 feet higher than twice the distance from the base of the wall to the base of the ladder. Well, twice the distance, twice meaning 2 times. So I know that I'm going to start out with 2 times the base, and it said 2 feet higher. So 2 feet higher means that I'm going to add 2 to that distance. Once I have the information on my drawing, I can then fall back to my Pythagorean theorem, which says if I take a squared, which is a leg, plus b squared is going to equal to c squared, the hypotenuse. So in my particular example, my ground is x, so I'm going to call that x squared. And my other leg is 2x plus 2. So that means I'm going to take the length, 2x plus 2, and square that. This needs to equal the hypotenuse squared, and the hypotenuse squared is 13 feet, and that's going to be squared. So we'll go through and simplify. So let's start with x squared plus, now we need to do the 2x plus 2 squared, which remember is 2x plus 2 times 2x plus 2. So I'll put that down here as a reminder. So I'm going to go ahead and FOIL that out. So we're going to end up with 4x squared plus 8x plus 4. And that is going to equal 13 squared. So now we're going to continue on with our simplification. We have 5x squared plus 8x plus 4 equals 169. We need to move everything over to the left so we can get it equal to 0 in order to solve. So I'm going to subtract 169 from both sides, and 4 minus 169 is minus 165, and that is equal to 0. At this point, if we can see if this factors, or if we're not sure, we can always use the quadratic formula. In our example, the quadratic formula, x is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. All of that is over 2a. So looking down here at my equation, I can see that my 5 is my a, b is going to be my 8, and c is my negative 165. So let's go ahead and substitute that in. Negative b, or negative 8, plus minus the square root. So b squared, which is 8 squared, or 64, minus 4 times a, which is 5, and my c, which is negative 165. And this is all over 2a, or 2 times 5. So if we continue through, we're going to end up with negative 8 plus minus the square root of 3364 after we do all the arithmetic over 10. So that becomes negative 8 plus, and the square root of 3364 is 58 over 10, plus minus. So the first one I can do, negative 8 plus 58, that's going to get me a positive 50 over 10, or 5. That looks like a legitimate answer. If I do look at the other option, negative 8 minus 58, already I can see that this isn't going to work because I can't have a negative distance. So that answer isn't going to be valuable, but 5 is. So we now know that the ground is 5. How far from the wall is the base of the ladder? That's 5 feet. And how high does the ladder reach? Well, that's 2x plus 2, which is 2 times 5 plus 2. So our ladder reaches to 12 feet.